Hey, beautiful. This is your intuitive consultant and life coach, Avalaura, with another edition of Avalaura Heal My Life podcast. Listen in each week because I'm helping you to heal your life, heal your relationships, learn how to do meaningful work in the world, and make an impact that creates legacy. So go ahead and get your pen and paper, get your favorite drink, and listen in now. This episode of Avalaura Heal My Life is sponsored by Canada's #1 inspiration coach, Maureen Kaylee Verdonk, affectionately known as Coach Mo. She is the founder of Inspired Living Life Coaching, and Coach Mo is passionately helping women say yes to ourselves and experience more success and joy in our lives. Visit Coach Mo at www.mocaliverdonk.com. That's M-O Callie, C-A-L-E-Y, Verdonk, V-E-R-D-O-N-K, mocaliverdonk.com, and claim your free audio CD today.
Greetings, beautiful ones. This is Avalaura, your intuitive consultant and life coach, here with another amazing episode of Avalaura Heals Radio. Tune in each week to learn how to heal from whole to wholeness in your life, your relationships, your business, and your career. And ladies, I am so excited about this episode. This one is for you. Men, you can share this with the women that you love, but ladies, this is all for you. I have another powerhouse guest today, and you know I don't feature anyone who I don't know personally. So when I say she is a powerhouse, I want you to know that I know this through experience. And so you absolutely want to get out your pen and paper. You want to capture all the goodness that you're about to be blessed with. If you don't get a chance to get that right now, you definitely want to listen in and come back again to listen and take notes, because my intention for you is that you listen, that you receive, and then you implement all of the information that you're getting. So let me just tell you a little bit about the powerhouse that we have today. Thema Serwa is a professional coach. She is an educator, an ordained interfaith minister, and she is the founder of the Womb Sauna here in the D.C., Maryland area. She is also a Reverend High Priestess who not only has her formal Western education, but she got the Eastern, she got everything, okay? So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that. She is my sister friend. We have clients in common, friends in common, students in common, and it has just been my joy watching her flourish over the years. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Thema, who is truly going to bless us today, talking all about how we can heal our wombs.
Hey, everybody. And sis, you know I adore you, so thank you so much for having me. Any opportunity that I have to support the work you're doing, you can count me in, because I love your movement, I love your message, and I love your gifts. So, yes, I am here, and I cannot wait to just chat with you all and share my journey with you and how I healed myself and allowing women to do the same.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So just tell our listeners who may not be familiar with you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, my journey is interesting. I, from very early in my life, had an impulse, an instinct to just help people heal. I literally was like 2 years old laying hands on people like, be healed. And I've always just felt connected to spirit in a powerful way. And so when I was 6, I created my first organization. It was called Children with Attitudes. And I designed the logo. We had a little sign we would throw up, and it went from my mother's porch all the way to my school, from my block to the school. And I remember my first moment of what some would call opposition. I remember a teacher at the school said, "This child has started a gang," and called my mother in for a parent-teacher conference. And even at 6, there was something in me that knew who I was and why I was here. And my response to what she thought was something negative was, we can have positive or negative attitudes, and we have positive ones, and that shut it down. So that was my introduction early in my life to having to do the work, to be confident in the gifts I've been given, even in the face of adversity. And when it came to my health journey, I was diagnosed in my 20s with infertility, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is known as PCOS. They said the only way I would ever have a child would be through in vitro fertilization. My daughter would be 1 next month. They were wrong. But I needed that experience because that helped me learn about alternative medicine and a holistic approach to healing the womb. And that's literally the reason the womb sauna even exists today. I joke and say the business plan for it is my own womb story. So it began with me. And so I went through 7 reproductive endocrinologists, reached my glass ceiling and said there's got to be another way. And through the work of Queen Afua's book, Sacred Woman, and the sisters I was going through that journey with, I discovered smoking the womb with herbs, or vaginal steaming, or what they call V-steaming. And it changed my life. I didn't even know what it was. I was so wet behind the ears. I said, what am I doing? I got to get undressed and do what? But my body responded within 20 minutes. And when I came home back to Maryland, because I was in Atlanta, couldn't find anybody offering this. And that was Spirit's way of setting me up to pioneer. So I went and I learned herbalism. I learned about Reiki and crystals, and I'm trained in all of these things. But I will say that what really was the game changer in my healing process was knowing who I am and then learning how to be that every day unapologetically. And literally every cell, bone, organ, everything in my body came into alignment with the truth of who I am. And so that's just a quick overview of my journey.
Wow. You just said a mouthful, and so much of what you said resonated with me, and I'm sure resonates with the women listening to this today. Because, you know, one of the most powerful things that you said, and that I really want to make sure that everyone heard, is that your own personal crisis, you know, your own personal problems, if you will, challenges, really became your life purpose. Mm-hmm. And I have a very similar journey in that as well, in that and my listeners know, you know, my story, you know, but getting my bachelor's degree in psychology and my master's degree in social work, and, you know, working as a program director at an outpatient mental health clinic, and feeling that I had arrived, that, you know, I did all the work that everybody told me to do, and, you know, I was going to heal the world, and I was going to help all of these people, and I was going to help people grow and transform and really change and live their best lives. And I found myself working at a job where I was simply helping people to maintain their dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And I found myself not making an impact at all, and playing all the way small and being Clark Kent instead of being Superwoman. And through my own journey of that, where I finally just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and, you know, really through an answered prayer, getting fired from my job, taking that as an opportunity to say, Avalaura, are you going to go and you're going to get another job and go back into the social work field, which you know is not feeding your soul, which you know is not your purpose, where you know you're simply going to exist in this in this institution or the structure that's not allowing you to do the healing work that you know that you're called to do? Or are you going to make a change? Are you going to make another choice and really do it on your own terms? Discover that other path, that unknown, whatever that might be.
Yes.
And that's what I did.
I can so relate to that.
And that's what you did. You know,
literally, I remember writing my resignation letter.
Sorry, nope. There's no other way. This is the only way you can do it.
Yep. I literally remember writing my resignation letter by faith. You know, so anybody who may be in that job that is listening to this interview and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, it's going to be through your faith. And I like the definition of faith that it's not based on what you can control or see right in front of you. It's going to stretch your vision and take you out of your comfort zone. So here I am writing this letter of resignation, dating it. When I started the womb sauna, I had no money saved up. I was a fool to think that I could create something that would reach women worldwide. And here we are 5 years later in 9 different countries. So I'm telling you that all I had was faith and a vision and enough courage, and it wasn't a lot, to write it. Before I could turn it in, the day I went to hand it in, my supervisor said to me, I need to talk to you. I said, oh, great, I want to talk to you too. And with tears in his eyes, he fired me. He didn't even understand why he was letting me go. And we laugh about it to this day. We have a great relationship. I said, it was my intention, it was my vision, it was my faith that activated something powerful in my life. And literally the next day I was on the road with the womb sauna. That first year we covered 15 states in the U.S., just taking this ancient practice to women. And it was a game changer. And so, you know, I just wanted to share that too, you know, with your journey and with my own for anybody listening. And have faith. Regardless of what your spiritual background may be, there comes a point where you have to call in something bigger than you to support you in healing, not just your body, not just your mind and your spirit. How about your bank account balance, you know? How about everything? You know, it's my message. You got to heal everything. So I just wanted to throw that in the pot too.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, you know, what you said really resonated with me, because that's when you know, when you make that choice into the unknown, that's when you know something powerful is about to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what that is. You can have your vision, and I had my vision too. You know, I had my vision board. I had Avalaura's Healing Center there, but I had no idea. I really had no idea just how powerful it was going to be until I started taking those steps into the unknown. And so, you know, ladies, I hope that you're really getting this, that you're really hearing it and looking at it from your own life and looking at, you know, where are the places that you're still holding on instead of healing? You know, what are the things that you really need to let go of? Because I'm sure as we're talking about this healing process in our wombs, it is a process of letting go. So let's talk about that. So you talked a little bit about what the womb sauna is, this ancient practice of you know, smoking, which a lot of women, I don't think we even, you know, this modern day we talk about. Can you talk a little bit about that, like what this ancient practice is and why, you know, how it developed or why women traditionally used it and now how you're using it today?
Yes. So in the eastern parts of the world, the Caribbean, you know, women are familiar with steaming the womb with herbs. Their grandmother got them on the pot. Their grandmothers would sit on the pot every day. This is not foreign to them. Here in the West, this didn't become popular until a Korean spa owner popularized it, starting in California, and now it's kind of spread across the U.S. But even before that, you know, in every indigenous culture, you will find some kind of history of the women gathering together and smoking their wombs. gathering together in what has been modernized as like the red tent movement. Women held their menstruation time, their fertility, their community of sisterhood very sacred. And so they had a ritual of using things of the earth, the plants, the herbs, and all of that, to maintain the health of their wombs. And so what we've done in our modern expression of it is, a woman would come into my office space, and I only service one-on-one, and I train all my practitioners to service one-on-one, and we build in a coaching model with our expression of vaginal steam. And so it's not what you see in the spas. It's very different. But you come in, you sit on a chair that's open at the bottom, and herbs are heated. Nothing's inserted in your yoni. I have to say that. You'd be surprised the phone calls I get. Like, what are you going to put in there, Tama? I'm not about that life. That's not my job. That's your GYNs. But you come, you sit down, and from your neck to the ground, you're covered with capes that I have made. And if you get to crying, if you get to sweating, your practitioner will wipe your tears, wipe your sweat. And when you take that seat on what I call my pot, I call that the manifestation seat. You'll be asked, what is your intention? What do you need to manifest in your life? Because, see, people think womb healing work is about getting rid of the fibroids or getting rid of the endometriosis or the infertility. No, if your womb is out of balance, it's because something in your life is out of balance. So womb healing work is life transformational work. So I've had women come in for fibroids. We get to healing daddy issues, and the fibroids begin to release themselves from the body. Your womb is a messenger. And so we help women in that hour session uncover the root cause of why their body even felt the need to ring an alarm like fibroids, like painful cycles, like PMS. And women recover very quickly because your body knows what to do with the herbs and natural remedies. It's some of that synthetic stuff that confuses the natural rhythm of the body. But those herbs are nourishing. It actually has over 25 health benefits in one treatment. And we use a biopsychosocial model, which just is fancy language for mind, body, spirit. So you're getting it all in that one treatment. And then by the third treatment, and most of my clients will come in once a month, women go from coming in feeling heavy, burdened, overwhelmed, stressed, to by their third session, they're manifesting. They're coming in saying, Tama, my intention today is to manifest $10,000 in a week. And they sit on the pot. And they call me in a week screaming on the phone like, that money dropped. Yes. Your womb is a portal. It's powerful beyond measure. That's where your creative energy sits. You can literally create brain matter, bones, brain, like all of that. So you can't tell me that you can't pay your bills. That's an oxymoron to me. What that tells me is that you have not fully connected to all of who you are as a woman. And as a woman, you are the divine blueprint for creative power on this planet. Show me someone who has not come through the womb, right? So we have this untapped power, and we're seeing it in the world. Women are controlling the economy, right? We're seeing it in our politics. We're seeing it in Beyonce's formation. We're seeing this awakening taking place where women are remembering who we are, and I just believe that the world is going to change as a result of women healing themselves. When we do this work, we are creating new legacies for those who come behind us, and it's powerful work to do. So, I'll go on and on. Let me stop there.
No, that it was so beautifully stated, and you just reminded me of when I have women who come to me and say, Avalaura, I really want to work with you. I love what you're about. I've heard your message, but I can't afford you. And I always say that to them, like, you're a woman. You are a creator. You can give birth to babies. You can give birth to some money. That's nothing. So really why aren't you able to create?
Yep. And I feel like as a empowerment professional, it's my duty to call my people higher around their money consciousness. So, I have women call me back like, I applaud my faith team, I got my money, I'm ready. And we celebrate that, and I know you can relate to that too. So I have no problem encouraging anyone to go deeper. What even makes you say you can't do something? Growing up with my mother, can't was not allowed in my household. Oh, you can't?
That was the four-letter word.
She said, I don't even know what that means. I know it's in your dictionary, but it's not in mine. I can and I will is my mantra. And I love that. I can and I will. I don't care what knocks on my door. And I've been through some things. I have traumas. I could run down. I could tell a story that would make me sound like a victim of life. But I have decided to take everything I've been through in my life and decree it as serving me well, even in the most painful experiences I've had in my life. So I'm at a point in my journey where not even pain can slow me down or interfere with my destiny.
Yeah.
Not even rage, not even sexual abuse. None of that defines me. I am not what I've been through.
Yeah.
And that's the gift that women get when they have a womb sauna experience. They literally get up realizing that their body began to malfunction because they didn't have the tools to know how to heal their heart.
Mm-hmm. So it's so much more than the womb. So much more. And, what you just said reminds me of a saying that I have is that, pain is not meant to cause you problems, but it's meant to propel you forward.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yes.
Really, so much what you're talking about even in this healing process is that, yes, we're talking about the wounds, but that's really a manifestation. And understanding that, your mindset and your attitude have everything in the world to do with your healing process.
Mm-hmm. Because healing starts with a decision.
Absolutely.
So when everything in my lab work was saying I was infertile and could not conceive on my own, everything in my spirit said I am a mother and I am fertile. Mm. And I remember that moment sitting in the doctor's office having to make a decision about what would be my truth. Mm-hmm. So if we're really honest, when I work with women, a lot of them have formed addictions to their pain story. Mm-hmm. They become very comfortable with dysfunction in their families and their relationships and the toxic relationships. They're just sitting in it. And you'll know when you're sitting in it when you listen to an interview like this or you get something on your news feed on Facebook that will call you out of it, but you just look at the information and don't take action. Once you make your mind up that you are healed, what follows that is, what evidence can I begin to put in my daily way of life that will demonstrate I am a whole, healthy woman? Because that's my truth. I can't tell you how many times people have owned their diseases. I am diabetic. I'm like, oh, my God, like you must really enjoy this experience with this, to be so loyal to it, to identify yourself as that.
It becomes,
so when we change the story, we change our lives.
It becomes who they are. It becomes their identity.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes easy for ego to identify with that because it doesn't have to change.
Yes. And my spiritual father says this about pain, whether it's physical, emotional. He says pain is the fruit of resistance. So whenever you feel that pain in your back or you feel that pain in your heart, ask yourself, what am I refusing to accept in this moment?
Wow.
Because whatever that is what's triggering that pain. And sometimes we just need to surrender. Most women, can I just say this? Most women have womb imbalances because they are addicted to being in control. They literally don't feel safe.
Talk on that.
Okay, that's another interview. Okay, we got to
have a whole talk on that one. Woo!
They literally don't know how to feel safe in the world, in their households, in their careers, unless they are in control.
But, Tammy, you know what that goes back to? That goes back to what we first started with when we talked about having faith.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you feel the need to be in control of everything, you don't have faith. You don't believe that there is a force, that there are people, that there are resources out there who want to help you, who want to take care of you.
Yeah.
All you got to do is reach out and ask.
And that's
so
heavy.
Not having that
to go
faith,
through life that way is heavy.
Hence what you see in the wombs, right?
Yep. It's a direct correlation. So I hope there's a sister listening who has been asking the question, like, why am I having this experience in my body? Mm-hmm. Now take that. Take what you just heard and go take assessment of your life. Where are you free to surrender? Where's your soft place to lay your head to rest? And if you say, oh, it's not there because mama didn't do this for me or daddy didn't do this for me or I'm not surrounded by the right kind of people, I ask you to call yourself higher and say, I can manifest whatever I need and desire for myself. Mm-hmm. If you can see just even the opportunity to have rest, or like you were saying, to be supported, that there are some people out there who would love to support you. Just tell the truth. Start there. I'll give this example. I was when I was going through my womb healing journey, and even still today, many people who meet me know that what you see is what you get. I was in the grocery store, and this guy, you know how you're walking in, people walking out, he was passing me. He said, so, sis, how you doing? And I'm pushing my car. I said, horrible, and kept pushing. Right? And he came in after me. He said, I heard you. And he said, I don't know what you're going through. I don't even know you. But you're going to make it through what you're feeling in this moment.
I love it.
And he just blessed me so deeply, brought me to tears and all of that. We're in the produce section, just letting it all out, right? If I had not been authentic, if I had not told the truth, if I would have been superficial and trying to be superwoman and pretend like I have it all together when I know that I don't, I would have missed that blessing. And I have made the decision that I don't care how the universe blesses me. It can fall out the sky. My business does not have to be my source of income. The universe is my source of income.
Hello.
So if it comes through the womb sauna, great. If it comes through money left on my doorstep, and that has literally happened to me, I'll take that too. I'm not attached to the outcome because I finally learned how to be safe and to know that I am safe in this world. So I just want to put that out there for anybody who needs to create a new truth and a new story for yourself. You are sovereign in your life. You don't have to live the way you're living. You don't have to suffer unnecessarily. Just change your story and tell the truth.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely powerful. Woo, I told you all this was going to be a powerhouse discussion here. So, you know, what I really want to talk about is why, you know, we've talked about some of the things that are manifesting in the wombs. What are some of the misconceptions that women have around this process and, you know, the reasons that they're giving you for why they're not doing it?
They're so focused on the physical symptoms. So I have found in my work that a lot of women truly don't have a real understanding of their composition. We're not just this physical matter. You're not just your organs, your bone, your flesh. Your mind, body, and spirit. So because, especially in America, of our Western culture, we like quick results. We have that microwave mentality. They're looking for something that took 10, 15 years to be created in their body to leave in 3 months. You know? And I support women in how they go through their healing process. So, you know, their surgery was on the pyramids of Kemet. right? So there are appropriate times for certain forms of treatment. But if you don't know what the root cause of the experience is to begin with, you'll continue to repeat the lesson until you learn it. So that's the biggest misconception, that women think, oh, if I just take this herb, they start popping herbs and supplements like they was popping birth control. And, they just go from one world to the next with the same mindset and behavior that has contributed to why there's imbalance in their life to begin with. And so I have to really take time.
What I thought of, too, when you said that, what I thought of is that, even with that mindset, is that, because I truly believe that every woman, whether she has tapped into it or not, is intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what happens as women, we make excuses, or we decide not to do something, not because we don't feel that it will work or it will help us or we can't do it, but because we know that it will work and we're not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to let go of the story that we talked about.
Yes.
You have to let go of the victimhood, of the blame, of the this is not going to work for me, of, well, I was told that, there's this obstacle and that obstacle. You have to let all of that go to embrace a new truth and embrace a new reality. And so if you're just focusing on the physical, sometimes it's because you're really trying to run away from that deeper work.
Mm-hmm. It is. And not only that, let's, at a broader level, too, I like to believe that before we were even in our mother's womb, we were with God or spirit or whatever your belief is, and you had a glimpse of what you was coming here to do with your life. And in many ways, we signed up for the lives we're living. And so, my spiritual father says it this way, and I love the way he puts it. When you come out of your mother's womb, that begins your journey of remembering who you are. And so when you look at it that way, like, God, why would I sign up to go through that trauma? Or why would I sign up to go through that bad marriage or that financial struggle? Because your spirit already knows who you are, and that no matter what you go through, your destiny is signed, sealed, and delivered.
And that's the catalyst for your destiny.
That's the catalyst. I know
that
for a
needed
fact.
To be your experience, because your experience is not going to be my experience.
Exactly.
I don't need the same trauma and challenges that you have, and you don't need the same trauma and challenges I had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it truly is divinely created experience just for you, but you get to choose with your free will which road you're going to take.
Mm-hmm. And after a certain point, you begin to teach the universe what you require to fulfill your destiny. So some of us only get busy when crisis presents itself.
That's right.
Right? So you get to change that at any time. You get to say, okay, God, I don't need you to send me any more fibroids. I don't need you to send me any more. I'm good. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm in class. I'm paying attention.
That's funny. Yeah, that actually, I just put up it was so interesting. I put up a status on Facebook a while ago, and it said, rock bottom doesn't have to be your catalyst for change. You can choose to change and heal at any time. Choose healing now.
Time.
And there were some people who wanted to fight me on that.
Because people have real pain addiction.
Sometimes it has to be rock bottom for me to change. And I said, yes, I understand that. For most people, that's what it is. We do need rock bottom. We do need, for a series of events to happen before we change. But that doesn't have to happen.
Because you actually are creating the life you're living. So I remember when I was going through my divorce, I'm in my second marriage now, when I was going through my divorce and I was processing the pain of it, because right before my divorce, my father transitioned. So I lost two very valuable men in my life at the same time.
Wow.
And I remember asking questions like, why me? Why am I going through this? Right? But as I really got still and dug deep, I realized that I created all of what if we're real sisters, we get the red flags, we get the signals saying, you might want to make a U-turn right here. But something in us proceeds.
Yep.
Something in us knows that when we pick up that Big Mac, our blood pressure is going to go up, right? We know this. So I always tell my clients, if you really want to know how much you love yourself, just look at your self-care practices. Because if you can't be good to yourself,
that's right,
you're not going to have good in your life.
That's right.
And you cannot give, and not just, since we're on it, let me address this martyrdom syndrome that exists amongst women.
That's another one we can have a whole
Okay. Am I on the third interview now? Because you cannot give what you don't have. So when you sit here and you rationalize putting yourself at the bottom of your list and mistreating yourself and your body in the name of the kids, in the name of the husband, in the name of the business, do you really think people are blessed by you showing up at 30%?
That's right.
The world needs you at 100.
Yes. Give the gift
so
of
we have to.
You.
We have to love ourselves and nurture ourselves, and even becoming a new mom. I remember when I first had Zariel, and I really needed some water. When you're at home in the bed with that little baby, you're like, oh, my God, how do I put her down? I was learning. I'm new. I was wet behind the ears. And I looked at that baby. I said, listen, you want some of this milk? You better let me get some of this water. Matter of fact, I don't need your permission. You can cry for a few minutes while I get myself something to drink. Because what I'm not going to do is teach you early in life to receive more than you should. I'm going to teach you how to flow in reciprocity even now. And that's the posture we have to show up in our workplace with, in our business with. We got to carry this throughout. We got to take this with us everywhere so that we can really be a positive force on the planet.
Oh, so true. Oh, so true. You teach and train people how to treat you. And that, and here's the thing, because we all have those moments where we're not taking care of ourselves. That's reality, and so it's not even about being perfect, and it's not even about always practicing self-care, because we do have those moments where we slip out of that. But what it really is about is just being honest with yourself.
Yes.
So when you're not doing it, why aren't you doing it? Because it's not the kids, it's not your husband, it's not everybody else around you. Why aren't you doing it?
Mm-hmm. And are you ready to give yourself permission to just not feel like it sometimes?
That's it.
That's part of the healing process, too.
Because I'll tell anybody right now, like when I gained all this weight, and I was like, OMG. We all have that number on the scale, which we will never go over.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw myself going over that number, and I said, what in the world? What's going on here? And I had to get real with myself. I said, you know what, Avalaura, you're not ready to let this go. Because when you're ready to do it, you will.
Yep.
And so I gave myself permission to just accept where I was, accept the number on the scale, and say, okay, you're going to change when I'm ready to change you.
Yes. Because you can't heal it if you don't identify it, right? You just got to call a spade a spade. It is what it is, and it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It doesn't mean that you are not enlightened or awakened. It just means that you don't feel like it because it's Monday, right? So,
right. I'm just like,
you're human.
That I'm working on right now, I'm prioritizing. This right here is not what I'm working on in this moment, but I'm coming back. Trust me.
Yes.
You ain't staying. This is temporary. But I'm going to give you
But how powerful
moment.
is that? Now you're not reacting to what's happening. You're actually orchestrating it.
Exactly.
And that's powerful.
Exactly. So, yes, I love that. I love that. So, wow, time, see what they say, time flies by when you're having fun or when you have an amazing,
I'm telling you, we can talk about this forever.
But I do want to ask you really quickly, what are what are some of the things that women can do to start to heal their wombs naturally?
The first thing I would say is literally set out time to be still and quiet with yourself and have a conversation with your womb.
Ooh,
and you don't have to overcomplicate it, overanalyze it, but just sit down, even if it's just 5 minutes. Just take a deep breath, put your hand over your womb, which is always about 2 inches beneath your belly button, and just say hello, or whatever you say. What's up? How are you? I just, that's literally where I started. I can't say that I started with some fancy chant or any of that. No, I literally, in my first womb meditation, just put my hands over my womb and was like, okay, hello, you talk? I didn't know that. You have something to say? And I had the most profound message come to me from my womb.
I love it.
Start there. Just literally. Just say hello. And listen. Your womb may speak to you with sensations. She may speak to you through images. You may hear an audible voice. It's different for every woman. But your womb is trying to show you the blueprint for your life of health, wealth, abundance, and joy. She's trying to show you the way. But many women are not even thinking about their wombs until it's that time of the month.
That's right. And then when you're thinking about it, you're cursing her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Not knowing that there's power in the blood. That's another interview, too.
Right. So, number 4. Yeah. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. I love that. Just have a conversation, because a lot of times that conversation, whether it's verbal, right, or not, whether it's just through your language or through your actions, is negative.
Mhm.
It's the same thing when we're talking about ourselves. I mean, the things that we say to ourselves in our head, and even verbally, like if somebody else said that to you, you would slap them.
Right.
You would call,
right.
I am being abused. You would call the police. But when you do it, it's okay. It's truth. It's keeping it real.
Every time we speak, we cast a spell. So I always say, am I blessing myself or cursing myself? Because there's a verse in the Bible that says the word of God will not return void. And I like Reverend Ike's perspective on that. He was before his time. But he says the word of God is in you. It's in your mouth. And so what you say about yourself will never return void to your life. That makes you want to be more mindful. I like to do talking fast, where I may vent with my best friend for 5 minutes, but whatever negative stuff I say, I got to match that with 10 minutes of nothing but positive speech. Eventually, you wear yourself out. Yeah. You just say, I might as well just say the positive, because I'll have to work twice as hard to cancel out the negatives.
Right. That's right.
So my recommendation, sisters, if you are like, I need to heal my womb, I'm tired of being in pain, I'm tired of being frustrated, you need to go deeper within yourself and figure out what the message is behind the physical experience you're having in your body. And you'll get confirmation of what messages come. All of a sudden, it's like the puzzle pieces will begin to come together and you can see clearly what you're dealing with. Then you can create a plan. A lot of women do this backwards. They start sampling the best herbs they done Googled for womb healing, right? But herbs are medicine too. So you can literally throw your body out of whack if you don't know what you're doing with some of this stuff. Stop being so externally based and go within.
Yeah, it's and that really goes to the whole control piece again.
Mhm.
It's allowing somebody else to help you. Going to an expert who knows what they're doing. Google does not know everything.
Nope. Even though I wish I did have some stock in Google right now. But
right?
They don't know everything.
Google is not God. Go to an expert. Go to somebody who can help you. You don't have to feel the need to research everything and be in control and to figure out and come up with your own plan. Once you identify the problem, go to somebody who can help you to solve that problem.
That is so true. Mm-hmm.
So I love that. Thank you so much, Thema. You are awesome.
Oh,
Woo,
thank
this
you.
Is gonna be fun.
I'm your reflection, so I feel the same way about you. I really
I receive it. I receive it. I own it. I claim it.
Mm-hmm.
Before we end, I just want you to let our listeners know how they can contact you. If they're interested in your services and your work, how can they contact you?
Yeah, so go to our website. It's thewombsauna.com. Thewombsauna.com. From there, you'll be able to connect to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're pretty much all over the web. And I have practitioners that I've personally trained and certified, like I said earlier, 9 different countries. So even if I'm not in your immediate area, you can always connect with one of my practitioners and have your womb sauna experience. There's some women that's had one session and that was enough. There's women who go in every month. We really go to the deeper layers of it. And then also I do programs and coaching. So we have a 6-week womb healing intensive that's online, and we have one coming up soon. So we do that throughout the year. I'm always in the community, in the marketplace, speaking at different events and serving and just being myself. And so if you go to thewombsauna.com, you'll be able to see our upcoming events, our university, as well as our services and products that we provide for sisters to heal everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your presence, and thank you all for listening to another episode of Avalaura Heals Radio. Make sure to join us next Sunday for a new show to help you move from whole to wholeness in your life, your relationships, and your business and your career. Until then, wishing you peace, love, and bountiful blessings.
This episode of Avalaura Heal My Life is sponsored by Beads by Mamimdi, which specializes in designing beautiful jewelry using authentic crystals. Crystals have been known and used for many years for their metaphysical properties, aiding individuals in achieving success, well-being, and spiritual growth and development. Order your beautiful crystal jewelry with a personalized touch today on Instagram at beads, BEADS _ by _Mamimdi, MIMINDIE. Hey, beautiful. Thank you for listening to another edition of Avalaura Heal My Life podcast. Join me each and every week to move from whole to wholeness in your life, your relationships, your business, and your career. And if now is the time for you to embrace all that you are for your most incredible life, go ahead and email me today at avalaura@avalaura.com for your own personal consultation. And while you're at it, I'm Googleicious, so you can find more information about me online. Go to my website at avalaura.com and join my mailing list.